honestly, the fact that Sarah only has 4 total crafts, including her S-craft, compared to all this bullshit that Reen has, clearly it's unfair towards the main character, which is obviously Sarah. Hey everybody, welcome back to more Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we rescued Fiona and we liberated Twin Dragon's Bridge and Celdic, and this time we'll be starting off our little free day, or stopover day. First things first, we do have a few things that we need to pick up at this point. First off is talking to Merchant Gibson. Phew, it's been a while since I last did business at the Grand Market. I'm beat. Times like this make me want to brew up a nice cappuccino, sit back and relax. Speaking of, I can teach you the tricks to make the mean cappuccino if you like. Get the comforting cappuccino recipe. Next up, we actually go and talk to, well, not talk, we have to shout for it with the cornet. Hey there, take a look at this razor that's been fitted with an alarm clock. You'll be waking up and looking sharp with this. So the Imperial Army used to replace those provincial army troublemakers, huh? Doesn't seem like a ratty bunch, which is fortunate. Let me know if I finally get some business done. As you sell in Gambler Jack, Chapter 10. And finally, we do have one more shop to go to, which is with Merchant Marco. Step right up, folks. We got another big sale going on today as well. And just in case you didn't feel like these prices are enough of a steal, here you go. A bit of a goodwill on my part. Gambler Jack, Chapter 2. The last thing is actually a little bit of a weird one. This is something that is kind of missable. It's a very weird case. So if we go into here and we go and talk to Becky, you will get 2 AP for doing this now. You can recruit her as at the beginning of next part as well, but you only get 1 AP. It's just weird. Perfect timing, Reen. Yeah, there, Becky. You're looking much better than the last time we saw you. You got yourself to thank for that. You went absolutely mental over at the Twin Dragon's Bridge, didn't you? Can I believe you didn't tell me they'd be doing that beforehand? Sorry about that, but yesterday was the first chance we've had to come to Celtic in a long time. What, does this mean you're up for coming with us? Damn right! I've gathered up a bunch of stuff from the lads over at the Grand Market, so I'm ready to go. I won't take no for an answer, too. I didn't think you would. More than glad to have you aboard. The crate is not far from here, so I can introduce you to everyone. No need for that, I'm heading in now. Time to brush up on my merchant skills while I got the chance. That wee daft Hugo will never know I hit him. Nice to have her back in high spirits. I'll give her the rundown of everything on the ship later. Becky was welcome aboard the Courageous. Yas! This is one of the actually more important things to pick up. By recruiting Becky, we get access to pawn shop stuff, which initially doesn't sound exactly the most useful, until you realize that this is actually the way that we can start picking up our missed items. Yes, make sure that you get this if you have missed anything or think you have missed anything. Or just, pick it up in general. It's really important she appears on the 4th floor. Whatever floor most shops are on. Please, take good care of Becky. I can't deny that we're going to worry about her, but that's what her mother does. And now it's my duty to support her, no matter what path she takes. If her heart's set on using all of her merchant skills to help you, that's exactly what she should do. Still, would you mind in keeping an eye on her for me? Nothing extreme, just make sure she stays alright. Yeah, you're in charge to take care of Becky. She's a wee bit clumsy sometimes, so watch out. You gotta keep her safe too. So yeah, very important to get her. There are, of course, other bonding events. We will get to those in due time. Chicago is known to the command of the 4th Armored Division, taking the liberty of replacing other provincial on the flags for their own. This is my observation, it's not an especially impressive basic operation. Still, our role here in Celtic is to maintain public order, so it should serve us well enough in that regard. Now, Heather, I heard all about your work at the Twin Dragon's Bridge. The provincial army gave Celtic up without much of a fight, which is surprising. The fact that it's an important location in the railway system means that losing it must have been a rather big hit. Who knows, maybe this will serve as a big step toward bringing this civil war to an end. We gotta conduct a thorough inspection of the tower. It's simply too small to station an army unit here, though doing so may have caused unrest either way. As such, our job here in Celtic will be simply to maintain public order. We'll be working closely with the RMP to prevent any and all attacks coming from Trista. We'll be stationing ourselves here in Celtic from now on. We owe you our gratitude as well. Thanks to your help, we now have extra supplies of the Twin Dragon's Bridge, as well as those provided to us from me. You're all from Thor's, right? Good work back there. Many of us in the 4th Division can't deal it for Fiona, so we can't thank you enough for rescuing her. It took all of our willpower to contain our anger over her being held hostage, truth be told. Kidnapping others, even if they are related to a military officer, simply cannot be forgiven. True. Looks like the next Imperial Chronicle is going to be talking all about the Imperial Army taking up the Twin Dragons Bridge. The problem is whether or not I'm actually going to get my hands on that issue. Dang it, when are they going to get the train schedules back to normal? They're going to get their butts in gear soon, my business is done for! Let's see, you're concerned about what's really important. I'm surprised at the stark difference between the Imperial and Provincial Army. They were even going around asking if there was anything they could do to help us. I guess the Reformers really are the more amiable faction after all. Amiable and amicable have similar meanings, so easy to screw that up. This story really is a mystery to me, but today's the day. Time to figure out whether the stuff here is worth buying or not. See, a knife designed for mincing an orbital corkscrew. I can't tell if I'd be getting my money's worth with these. It does have some weird items, that is true. Alright, troops, I heard all about your little rescue mission. Cannot believe you even chased off those provincial bamputs. Pure brilliant. If you need anything, I'm your man. I'll even throw something extra special for you. Not a useful store. I'm just here to talk to people. I can see it in your eyes, young ones. You're questioning my presence here, are you not? There's no need for surprise, though. Those who have a passion for freedom are guided by love itself. And now the time has come to heal the downtrodden citizens of Celdic with my soothing melody. I insist that you all listen as well. The war seems to be moving in a somewhat different direction now. So I really have the impression that the Noble Alliance will make up for this plot. But my gut tells me this is going to have a considerable effect on things down the line. Call up my emergencies, wishing you fuel. Honey fact time! It's a common misconception that bees make honey simply by gathering the nectar from different flowers. There's more to it than that. Once the nectar is gathered, the bees pass it to one another while chewing it until it finally turns into honey. This unique process makes honey a product we humans could never make on our own. Aren't bees amazing? I do like the bee facts with Lucy. Say? Looch. A few more people to talk to before we start getting into our bonding events. First up, we are actually going to go and check in with the market manager. Otto, if it isn't the hard workers from Thor's, I heard you were quite busy today, but I must say, I nearly had a heart attack when I heard you were taking on those soldats. I hope none of you got hurt? Well, fine. It's good to see that you're looking well, too. Rather, the provincial army retreated without much issue. Indeed, they left in a flurried panic, but no harm came to the townsfolk during that. I really can't thank you enough for what you've done for this town. It never would have been possible without all the support we received. Yet this peace wouldn't have been possible in the first place without you. The townsfolk are ecstatic about all this. Please, make yourselves at home during your stay. It's the least we can do to show our gratitude. Thank you, sir. We'll do just that. Alphen is here as well, who does have a bonding event. I don't think that's actually one we're reviewing. Celdic now effectively removed from Duke Albare's rule, considering he was the one who collected taxes and enforced the law. All of that is up in the air now. We need to decide how to handle those things for ourselves. There will be problems down the line. The most pressing problem is how the railway will operate from here on out. Otto plans on holding negotiations regarding that. I still need to get everything ready for him, actually. Oh man, they decided to leave me in charge of preparing important documents out of nowhere! Right, calm down. First priority, make sure I've got everything together before the market manager heads in. These negotiations will have a huge impact on Celdic, so I need to be on the ball here. Well, then you shouldn't have turned around and talked to me about that. You should have just been ranting to yourself about that. Come on. Simple. And you screwed it up. Yeah, screwed it up, buddy. Here's the provincial army left while I was busy working. Not that it matters around here. I'm the only man who represents this town in our books. You don't need no provincial army or noble alliance. Never have, never will. Thanks to the courageous presenter, first big deal in a while. I'll be helping to resupply. Great news, right? After my old man. He's not really up into the idea of propping up a big deal like this. He's gonna have to learn a little flexibility one of these days or we'll get really in trouble. Malchus is here as well. That is Malchus, yeah. It was scary watching all those soldiers pass by, and then Jake apparently couldn't pass up the opportunity to put dirt in my shoes. He didn't take any chance he could get it. Hey, 30 about
a whole bunch, and now I know why Jake and Susie argue so much. They're probably bitter rivals in a past life. Now they're destined to clash forever. That has to be it. They never argue so much if it weren't.
Cat has a good thought about that.
Gotta admit, Sue's getting good these days. This soldier scared her real good, though. She's still got a long way to go before she avoid getting pranked. They said her see her face when she noticed.
I do not know why I decided to make that noise. Rosine!
How nice to see that you've been in good health since we last met. I was mentally a little worried. After our last party, I hadn't heard so much as a whisper on your whereabouts.
Sorry, we didn't mean to worry you. And coming off that might not be the best bargaining tactic, but could we tempt you to join us in the Courageous? We're trying to build a crew of as many Thor students as possible right now.
Me? I'm afraid not. Well, I'd like to. I feel as though I'm making significant progress as a medicine maker here. I'm not saying you'll ever be able to join you. I'm just afraid I must ask you to wait a while. Is that alright?
It's fine with us. We'll come back and catch up again later.
So, let me give you something to help you in my absence. I hope they'll prove useful.
Thanks, I'm sure they will. Cannot recruit Rosine, and I think that is actually something that is consistent throughout the entire game. Cannot recruit her.
Rosine recently started learning how to make medicine. She's taking to it very well, I should add. I believe she's mastered the basics already. At this rate, it won't be long before we can leave her in charge of tending to those coming in with minor injuries.
It's a true relief that no harm came to this town after all that commotion. You can only imagine how many casualties would have emerged had the two armies clashed here. We're holding services so that the people can give their thanks to Aedios for keeping us all safe. I'm sure doing so would be a good way to help ease the townsfolk's nerves. A lot of us are having trouble coming to terms with no longer being under Duke Albare's rule. The Albarea family has been in charge of this town for a long, long time after all. That's why we're all so uncomfortable about it. Nobody has any idea how this is going to change things. That is one thing I do like, how, while obviously the Provincial Army, not exactly a great force, they are positioned as the antagonists here, there still is quite a bit that it's showing that it's not exactly a good thing, or a perfect thing, that the Imperial Army is here. Hey people, noise levels down a little please, cat trying to sleep here. They're hooting and hollering and think the war was over. Well, they were just free from a brutal tyrant. Let them have their moments. It's not like we were using today for anything but rest, right? I guess things that did turn out okay. You guys meshed pretty well with Valimar too, so we'll try to keep that up for a while. But don't do anything too crazy, got it? I went all the way to Gorilla Fortress and I still couldn't find any clues. Where are you, Ricky? Anton, still looking for him. As you're doing as well as ever, Squarrow. I can say the same to you. Focusing on selling daily necessities is certainly a sound plan. You even set your prices well. I don't with my gut for the most part. Wasn't expecting to make quite this much from it, though. Maybe we're just born with it. Remember, she's right. Most merchants could get by being quite that careless. Well, we may be under the Imperial Army's jurisdiction now. Our main concern is still getting the railroad back to normal. To that end, we'll have to deal with both the Provincial and Imperial Army. That's about as difficult as it sounds, too. We need someone to handle this effectively. Little did they know it involved flipping Louise's skirt. Oh, York, you can't just mess around because you're struggling for ideas. Get those gears turning for the town's sake. Oh, no, how brazen of me. I don't like Old Man York. Whoops. Oh, welcome everyone. Heard about how you fought the soldats at the Twin Dragons Bridge. I can't believe you managed to take those things on. Amazing. Everything's on us today, so go talk to Margaret if you want anything. It's probably Margot. Oh, here they are! The heroes who conquered the Twin Dragons Bridge themselves! Thanks, but heroes might be overdoing it.
Oh, I'm just teasing. Give yourself some credit, though. It's thanks to you the Provincial Army's gone. We really owe you one. It's not much, but here, this one's on the house.
Thanks, man. It looks delicious. We're not too stuff if you took the time to make it. Not much, but it is still something. As for the bonding events that we will not be viewing, let me just pull things over. Wait, I can talk to you. I heard about the Provincial Army's crushing defeat, so it's impressive just how quickly and efficiently they fled. I can't believe they're the same people who spent all day boasting about their accomplishments. Simply despicable, I say. First event that we are now viewing is Elisa's. For Elisa, you take a nostalgic trip through Celdic. Of course, this is where our very first field study was. And she really thanks Sarah for being a little bit indifferent to helping during the field studies, because without her actually helping, then they wouldn't have been able to learn so much. She's also very thankful for the teamwork at the Grand Market, because of course we did do a little bit of an investigation there. I'm trying to remember exactly what was through the notes that I'd taken about this.
Right.
Very helpful for the teamwork there, and really this is the teamwork in general that the class has. And eventually they decide to drive by bike towards Trista. I have not checked if it changes if you have the sidecar, but when I checked, I had no sidecar, so she goes without it. So she's just, hanging on to Reen off the back. The Alliance blockade is stronger, and everyone wants to retake Trista from Class 7, but it will take time, so they need to be patient about it. Our next one that we are not going to be viewing is Gaius. Gaius is a weird one. It learns a little bit about windmills, and they help to head to the windmill where Machias, Elliot, and Fee were hiding out. And eventually it does break. They need to help fix a broken cog, and they end up doing that by the tried and true, very, very scientific method of Reen getting on top of Gaius' shoulders, because Gaius is very tall. It's very, very scientific, very technical work here. And then Gaius thanks the wind for giving them some good bread, and it's... The weird part about this is that Reen eventually compares Gaius to the windmill. Sure. It's weird, I don't get it. Next one that we're not viewing, I'm actually kind of sad that we're not viewing, because we haven't really ever talked to Alphen too much. This is our first opportunity to have a bonding event with Alphen. We will not be able to view it. So there are 5 character notes, so no room for any of this stuff. Alphen, she right now is kind of in disguise as just a student of St. Estrella, and they go incognito to the Grand Market. She gets to relax and shop a little bit, and she is kind of sad that Oliver didn't give her any gifts. There's a merchant there that they overhear talking about how the royal family is really bad, and another merchant nearby says, hey, you know what, you don't know, just don't hear what they're doing, even though they're doing it. And she's happy that their efforts at the Twin Dragon Bridges were recognized, and then she doesn't want to let her family down, and then in typical Alphen fashion, she starts being Alphen towards Reen. You already know what that means. Yeah, I might as well do all of them. Next one is Laura. They decide to go down for a little bit of tea, but it ends up getting super busy, so both Laura and Reen do help out with the work, and I mean, I'm quoting Sarah and Reen here. Laura wears an apron that is pretty cute, and eventually they reminisce about the field study because they had this weird talk about the way of the sword. Yeah. And I think Reen says that he still doesn't quite know what he wants to do with his life. Fee, right now, is asleep. So Reen carries her to the room, and she is basically... It's kind of weird because Reen describes how Fee is quite muscular, but still very light. And she was dreaming about the time when she was brought into Zephyr, and she misses her old boss. This is after she wakes up that she mentions this. And Reen is now kind of seen as that old boss, and Class 7 is her new family. It's a very wholesome one, and I'm very sad that we won't be able to see it. Next up, we'll go along to Odvin's, because we're not going to be viewing Machias's. Machias, he just goes around thanking different people in town for helping shelter him, and everyone cheers him on, and now he's seeing how they can help out Erebonia on a personal level. It's very simple, but still quite nice. The last one is another one. This has some really good bonding events that we won't be able to see. Milliams is hilarious. She decides to help out as a substitute teacher in a Sunday school class, and she actually does surprisingly well until she wants to bring out Lammy, but Reen stops her from doing so, and she eventually, thanks her time, she thanks Class 7 for helping her out with everything, and weirdly enough for Milliam, She wants to reclaim Trista so she can get back to classes. What a nerd. But with that, next time we will be viewing the other bonding events. The ones that we actually can view. But until then, see you guys later.